Hello everyone. Women empowerment or NARI Shakti, which we call in today's age. The women are walking step by step along with the gentlemen in all fields. But there was one field जिसमें कि औरतों का कार्य करना निषिद्ध था. Women in the armed forces at one time long ago was a taboo because it was supposed to be a manly task. लड़ाई करना सिर्फ मर्दों का दायरे में आता था. But not today. Today there are women in the armed forces throughout the world. So why should our country be left behind? Today we have ladies in all the fields, be it an officer or a PBOR, that is person below other ranks, or even in the combats. There are women who are flying fighter jets, or recently 5 lady officers have been commissioned into the regiment of artillery, which is a combat support arm. The only fighting arm still left within our Indian Army which do not have the ladies element is the infantry and the armor. Also there are ladies who have been promoted to the rank of full colonels, who are going to command battalions in due course of time. They have already undergone the senior command course which trains an officer for commanding a battalion. In the Indian Army we have three-star generals from all the 3 wings of the armed forces, that is Army, Navy and Air Force, and they are Punita Arora, Bandopadhyay and Madhuri Kanitkar. Though all of them are from the Army Medical Corps. And with our Prime Minister's push for Nari Shakti, there is going to be a all-woman contingent of the Ministry of Defence, or all the tableaus or the contingents will be having ladies or women in the coming Republic Day parade. How it is done out or worked out has to be seen. We have 83 young ladies who have been commissioned or recruited into the Corps of Military Police. There are more coming on in the Agniveer scheme, which is already on, and the first lot have got recruited and are under training. Then there are women officers who are to be deployed along the LAC, though they are from the Territorial Army, but till now they were not deployed on the LAC. Then we have the first officer lady who has been posted to Siachen in the Chili Heights there. Then in 2011 we had Sapper Shanti Tikka, who was the first recruit and who defeated all the gentlemen during her training, and she was recruited into the Railway Engineering Territorial Army Regiment, though she had a gory and mysterious death in 2013. The present figures which show an increase of the recruitment of the or commissioning in the Indian Air Force is an increase from 8.50 to 13.09 from 2014 to today. The Indian Navy from 3% to 6%, and in the Indian Army from 3% to about 3.8% today. Initially in 1992, Cadet Priya Jingan was the Cadet 001 who got entry into the OTA as the first lady officer other than the military nursing service and the Army Medical Corps and the Dental Corps into Officers Training Academy for training. After that, every year there has been a constant intake of lady officers, and at that time they were getting commissioned into the Jack branch, the EME, then into the AC and Ordnance, and it carried on, and also the Army Education Corps was part of it. And then in 2021 it was decided that young girls will also compete and join the National Defense Academy, and the first lot are already undergoing their training. So आप देख सकते हैं कि किस तरह ये नारी शक्ति इंडियन आर्म फोर्सेस में पूरे जोर शोर से भाग ले रहे हैं। ये जो लेडी ऑफिसर्स का रिक्रूटमेंट या कमीशन का हिस्ट्री goes back to 1888 when the British Indian Army established a military branch known as the Indian Military Nursing Service, जिसमें कि फीमेल या लेडी नर्सेज को रिक्रूट किया जाता था, और ये लोग बड़े शान से वर्ल्ड वॉर 1 और 2 में भाग लेके अपना शौर्य और काबिलियत और हुनर का दिखावा दिया. Then in 1942 we had the Women's Auxiliary Corps, which was established to assist the BIA operations, and by the end of World War II the Women Auxiliary Corps had swelled up to 11,500 women. Then we had ladies like Noor Inayat Khan and Kalyani Sen. Noor Inayat Khan, who was of Indian descent, served in the Special Operations Executive during World War II. She was secretly sent to German-occupied France to assist in the SOE operations, where Khan was later betrayed and captured and subsequently executed in a concentration camp. Kalyani Sen was the first Indian servicewoman who visited the United Kingdoms and served in the Royal Indian Navy, Women's Royal Indian National or Naval Service during the World War II, and the first lady to attain the 2-star rank was Gertrude Alice Ram from the Indian Military Nursing Service, who reached the rank of a Major General. Like I said, Priya Jingan was commissioned in 1993, and she was part of the first 25 women to join the Indian Army as an officer. Then we have Alka Khurana Sharma, who was one of the first women to join the Indian Army and served 10 years in the Army Ordnance Corps and she took part in the Army Day and the Republic Day parades. Priya Sembal's husband, who had fallen in a CI operation in Arunachal Pradesh, went on to join the Corps of EME as a lieutenant. Lieutenant Colonel Mitali Madhumita was commissioned in 2000 and was the first woman officer to receive a gallantry award, that is a Sena medal for gallantry in Afghanistan during the attack on the Indian embassy in Kabul. Anjana Bhadoria, who was one of the first cadets to join the OTA, also won a gold medal. Captain Swati Singh is an engineer's officer and was the first officer to be deployed at Nathula. And we cannot forget Lieutenant General Madhuri Kanetkar, who is the first 3-star lady officer of the Indian Army. The Air Force, not being left behind, has got Vijayalakshmi Ramanan, who was commissioned in the Army Medical Corps, and she retired as a wing commander in '79. She was the first woman officer of the IAF. Flight Lieutenant Kanta Handa, an IAF medical officer, who was the first officer to receive a commendation for her service during the 1965 Indo-Pak War. Gunjan Saxena and Srividya Ranjan were the first women to fly an aircraft in a combat zone, that is in Kargil, between May to July 1999. Deepika Mishra was the first woman pilot to be part of the Sarang display team. And Nivedita Chaudhary was the first woman from IAF to climb Mount Everest. And the Air Force has fighter pilots in Avani Chaturvedi, Mohana Singh and Bhavna Kant. They are the 3 pilot officers who have also been awarded the NARI SHAKTI Purashkar. The first naval officer was Dr. Barbara Ghosh, who attained the rank of a commander in 1976. Dr. Punita Arora was the first woman to reach the Lieutenant General's rank and the first female Vice Admiral. Padmavati Bandyopadhyay is the first lady to reach the 3-star rank of an Air Marshal of the Air Force, and the second woman officer after Punita Arora to reach the 3-star rank. Now that I have talked about the meritorious ladies who have been in the different wings of the armed forces, initially they were not to be recruited or commissioned, but then in 1950 the acts were changed and ladies were commissioned into the Army Medical Corps, the Army Dental Corps, and the military nursing service was already on from during the British times, and ladies have meritoriously served. Nurses have served the soldiers to cure them to fitness again. Now, I can vouch, though there were controversies and controversies will always carry on, I can vouch because lady officers have served with me during my command, and they are very meticulous and go by the book and can be an asset. So we can let the controversies die and not make them showpieces, but use their talent to make your unit or organization flourish. So the year of Nari Shakti should be promulgated, and these ladies or other young girls should get motivated to join the armed forces, break the ceiling and do well for themselves. So keep listening to us for such topics and to get motivated. Jai Hind.